go to Marcus. Marcus told us earlier that he works for Lawler Sustainability and he's a sustainability engineer, which is, you know, very apt for this time. And his background, he studied at TU Dublin in engineering. So Marcus, tell us a little bit more about what you've been up to.
Yeah, I completely agree with Emily. Like, I think engineering gives you a mindset. It's a way of thinking, and you know, when you are sitting around a table full of people, you do realize that, you know, you do have that training or that way of thinking about a problem. So, you know, it's a great thing to have, you know, and like, I think that was trained into me through engineering. I think I probably had a little bit of it before I became a trained engineer, but, you know, they definitely hone in on that. So, no, there is a way of thinking. There's an analytical sort of way of looking at a problem, and I completely agree with Emily, you know. So, look, my career wasn't straightforward. Like, looking back on it, it looks like it was planned out, but it definitely was not planned. So I have a wee presentation here I can share with you. I just go through it. Right. Excuse me. Sorry, I have two screens, so it's jumping to the other one when I try to move it.
I can see that now. Yeah, we can see that.
So I work for a company called Lawler Sustainability. We're an energy services company. So basically, our company, there's an overview. There's two sides to our company. There's Lawler Consulting, who are classic M&E engineers, and they have 40 years of building services experience. They're mostly M&E designers and building modelers. Sorry, so they would do like 3D models for new designs. And then there's a lot of project managers. So there's all the gang there outside the front of the office. Lawler Sustainability, that's the department I work in. So we're an energy service company, which basically means we carry out energy related audits and energy financing of retrofits and renewables. And we also do a bit of dynamic simulation. So I'll go into a bit more of that now in a sec. My education, I started out in, look, when I was in transition year, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I had no idea. But I looked at a range of courses across a range of universities, and like the electrical engineering seemed like the most suited to me. So that's why I went for it. But I certainly, like, even when I was doing my engineering course, I wasn't completely sure about, you know, whether I was on the right path or not. So I completed my degree in DIT, and then I went traveling actually after that for a long time. I ended up in China, where I was studying Mandarin, and when I came back from traveling, I went to the Innovation Academy in UCD, which was brilliant experience. They taught like design thinking and entrepreneurship. Great organization. Then I got a job in Noel Lawler Consultant Engineers, or Lawler Sustainability, and they put me through my master's in sustainable energy engineering. So I actually did the master's part-time. And then just recently, I've actually done a professional certificate, which is a certified energy manager, which makes me a certified energy auditor. So the way I see with sustainability, there's really three directions you can go. You can go into the building services, which is where I am, or you can do large scale renewables, grid scale, or go into policy and CSR. I figured I'd talk about a typical week for me. My typical week basically revolves around kilowatt hours and how they transfer into money. So our company actually do what's called energy performance contracting. So we take on an entire facility and upgrade that facility retrospectively with you name it. If we can save energy, we will. So my job can revolve around it's mostly energy auditing, energy monitoring, sizing renewables for buildings. We do modeling as well for buildings. I would have an input into strategy for Lidl. They're looking at EV chargers at the minute. So basically, my job is to consult them essentially on what chargers to put in and why they would go down a certain route. And then maintenance as well. So I could find myself any week working on solving reactive maintenance problems. So if somebody has something broken in one of our facilities, then it's my job to figure out why and how to fix it. So that's essentially a brief overview of my job and kind of how I ended up here anyway. So that's me. Yeah.
Thanks, Marcus. It's such a vital sector to be in now, though, isn't it? Because, you know, climate change, we all have to learn how to bring climate, you know, a responsibility around our decisions, and sustainability is a massive part of that. So you must be very busy. A lot of companies, I'd say, are trying to embrace that sector now, are they?
Yeah, absolutely. And as I say, I think about what happens with a lot of people is they say they want to upgrade their buildings, but then they kind of come across this problem that who's going to finance it or how are they going to pay for it. So then our job has kind of been sidetracked almost into like energy financing as well as engineering. Yeah. So we just incorporate the whole lot. So we take on all we take on their entire building. So we take on their mechanical and their electrical systems, and we optimize those as best we can, and we pay ourselves out of the savings. So that's basically what our company does.
That's brilliant. And did you think when you were a TY that you would be involved in climate action as an engineer?
No, not at all. No, like no.
Amazing, isn't it?
No,
Who knew?
Not at all. No, I think I kind of discovered it. Kind of I think. You know, I kind of went on a self-discovery mission there a few years ago, and I kind of discovered then, like, you know, this is for me, you know, so, yeah, then I came back to Ireland and made it happen. So, you know, but it certainly didn't start out that way, you know.
It's great. Yeah, it's great. It's a great thing to share. You don't necessarily need to know at that stage in life what you want to do. So life kind of just fixes itself for you if you keep chasing what you're curious about. Fine. Thank you, Marcus. Let's hear now from